Je cherche, si vous voulez, ce que j'appelle la poésie de la vie. La poésie, c'est d'être pleinement soi-même avec les gens qu'on aime, avec une communauté. Et quand vous avez cette poésie, vous êtes heureux. La poésie, c'est d'être pleinement soi-même avec des gens qu'on aime, avec une communauté. Et quand vous avez cette poésie, vous êtes heureux.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? Who is here already? Agent Osman, salut. Waymatic Brown again, hello. Osman, good to see you. Great, so Jenny is here as well. Good day to you. So, if you like the music, go check Vapa on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere. Let me tip in some bait token as well. Without further ado, let's talk about Bitcoin. Right, that's why we are all here. So, I'm not gonna extend on this, but we are still obviously looking at 200k for the end of year, beginning of next year, for my 2 cents at least. But yeah, I have this target in mind, and I strongly believe we will reach it with all the craziness we are in at the moment in the world. Things can get ugly pretty quick, or at least really choppy. But I think it's not the time to get worried. It's time to pay attention and try to be positioned the best for what's coming. Now, if we focus on this, so a consolidation, as you know, we have a rise, a correction, a rise, and a consolidation. For wave 1, 2, 3, and wave 4. Yeah. So there is something pretty clear. We have a range here, unless a bit above here, but that's the range we are in right now, at least on this time frame. Now we zoom in a bit, can see that we have range. Where can I take it? Yeah, let's take that. And now the color range, and here. So into this range, we can see there is this middle part at form, and right now we are also into a range down here, right? So yeah, we are rejecting right now from the top of the range without being able to bridge that high, which tell a lot on the current wave structure. Now we'll look at what might be most likely. Most likely count. I have several ideas, maybe a few new ones on the mid-time frame and the higher one. If you follow me past weeks, you know that overall I'm looking at a flat here for the wave 4. We know it was possible that wave 4 was down here as a flat, and you may know as well that I think it is not down yet. Not here. I believe we will bridge that low and potentially this one. So overall that will make still a flat, but running flat if we don't bridge that low, and an expanded flat if we do bridge, which is possible. The alternative count we got is a triangle. I mean, I wouldn't exclude it right now. But yeah, I'm not sure we'll do that with the reaction we're getting right now. But you know, my opinion, my bias can change as the market reveal itself. But yeah, we could be seeing some kind of triangle like this before going for the 5th. One of the main reason I more or less changed my bias to say we are not seeing a triangle right now is that with this high we didn't bridge here. So I believe we may be building another triangle. So now that we don't need to keep all those levels. Let's talk about what we could be seeing here to what we need to find right now if we are indeed printing the flat I'm looking at, is to try to read 5 waves here on this move down. And there's several ways we can do that. So obviously I'm not going to come back on this. but we could have one finished here. We could read 5 waves down here, but as we are reading 3 waves up here, it's not looking like a new trend. Anyway, so I got a few counts here. Yeah, that one, for example. So there's a thing with Elliott wave. We try to find some kind of harmony into the structure. You know, like here, if we look at this, we have some kind of harmony in the length, as well as the vertical and horizontal. I mean, in price and in time, each wave do have more or less the same time and the same length. So yeah, for the flat, that's what we look at. And in that part, it's not what we can call the cleanest count, for sure. But there is not so much clean count we can find. So for me, I think here quite a small 1 and a very small 2 with an extension for the wave 3, and here potentially still working into the wave 4. Wave 4 could be finished here, but it could extend here as a triangle, some kind of triangle here. I like this count for several reasons. I don't know if it's going to play out, but yeah, I mean, I like it. There's a few things to know when looking at Elliott wave triangle is that each wave doesn't have to reach the trend line. For the D, for example, the only invalidation is to breach the law of B, but wave D could stop higher than the trend line, or it could reach it. And we need to read a corrective move here. So for example, a zigzag or something more complex. And very often the wave E is the one that doesn't reach the trend line. It often, yeah, be step front trend. So we'll get a few level here, I suppose, with potentially a POC, for example. So you see if we can read some kind of corrective move here, then I would expect wave E to finish at max at the POC. I wouldn't expect it to reach the trend line. So I'm kind of liking this gun. I don't know if that's the one that's gonna play out, but I like it. Another alternative that we got. So this is the one that is done. So that work on the linear scale, log scale. The idea that we could have an expanding diagonal here with 4 and 5 still in the go. Yeah, I keep the count here, but there is several problems. So first of all, wave 1 is bigger than wave 3, which usually we don't see into an expanding diagonal, because expanding diagonal mean expanding. So in theory, wave 3 is bigger than 1 and 5 is bigger than 3. And it's opposite in the contracting diagonal that form more or less a triangle. Oops. Yes, that's where we see wave 3 being smaller than 1 and 5 being smaller than 3. So anyway, I said it several times. I'm keeping it anyway. There is a new count that for whatever the reason, I didn't think about. Is an ending diagonal here. An ending diagonal that could make us go I don't know where exactly, but as low as 25 or even a bit lower, or maybe a bit higher. Just depends how this evolve. This is a good count, I think, because we can have a clean ABC here. That's pretty harmonic, as you see each wave are a good relation in time and in length. If we do take the fib extension here, well, let's deactivate this. We reach 0.618, so bit short going to the target. And yeah, here ABC for wave 2. And so here we would be looking at an ABC for wave 3, potentially. What I like about that is that wave 3 could make like a... Wave 3 and 4 could make a nice trap, as we would make a swing fail pattern of that low, potentially of that one. But yeah, maybe... Let's say, yeah, that swing fail of that low. For wave 3, make a bounce, and then make a swing fail pattern of this low and this low. So it could be a good trap. Double trap here. And finally going. And I don't know if we will... I mean, I have no certainties that we will bridge that low. I strongly believe it. For this low, I have no strong certainty. I think we might bridge them, we might not. So yeah, time will tell. But that count is a good idea. So yeah, here's the 3 main mid time frame, high time frame count I got. As long as we don't breach that high. If we do breach that high, well, then I will be looking most likely at the big triangle. Okay, where will it reach? We'll see, but until we stay below, I'm not planning on it, but I'm keeping it in mind. So yeah, that's it. So there's, I said, several reasons why I'm looking at this local triangle. Let me set some PP music. Not too loud. I think it's okay. Keep things stressless in our current stressful environment. So yeah, for me this range is getting pretty clear from a Wyckoff point of view. Tell me if the sound is too loud, huh? I think it's okay. Or if you really don't like it, you prefer to without music. Yeah, I think we can read pretty clearly each event here. So we have a preliminary support. We look at volume in Wyckoff, so we have significant volume, you see, above the average. Here's a good preliminary support. We have the highest spike of volume and consistence for the sailing climax. I read this as an automatic reaction secondary test. Could say that automatic reaction reach as high as here. In theory, that's what put the high of the range. But yeah, for me, this is really the first reaction that makes a change of character, and we have a significant distributive range here. I prefer to call that an upthrust, and anyway, that's just wording at the end of the day. The focus. The secondary test in phase B is what is more important to me here. Again, we have significant volume and we have significant buying volume, as you can see here on the white volume that come here. We really had bulls stepping in right here, like we didn't saw for a while. And yeah, we could say even here this is mostly FOMO, because you can see we have significant volume on this breakup, obviously, because confirming a market structure change, there is stops for a lot of shorts, so it's just blast off. Here there is a shift in position, because you see again decently high volume and almost no movement in price action, and then again decent movement, and you can see that it's still a bit less than this one, but you see supply coming in. Yeah, and if you zoom in a bit on lower time frame and look at the volume profile, you see there's really a lot of volume coming at the top, so suggesting a lot of supply. Indeed, probably the long that was built here, or even during all that period, because the big players build position into prolonged time and areas and need liquidity. And yeah, I think they find a lot of liquidity to exit at least partially this position. As we are supposedly into an accumulation range, we are not expecting all the buys to be sold up here in what the composite operator do, as we call it. That's the total of all the actors in the market. There is buying at the bottom of the range and there is selling at the top of the range. But overall, there is more buying than selling. If it's accumulation, or the buyer are stronger than the seller, sometimes they are both, sometimes there is some that are more sellers than buyers and some more buyers than sellers. At the end of the day, there is one side that's gonna win, and the range will break on a side. So now what do we expect after the strongly test in phase B? So phase B is supposedly the longer phase of an accumulation range. And so we accept the consolidation to continue. And what sets the final move into a Wyckoff range is a phase C. Phase C might take multiple form. What I will be looking at here is a spring, because the spring is the move that breach the low of the range to find the final liquidity pocket, liquidity available. So it's most of the time it's a strong move that can recover really strongly like a V shape, or we can find a little time spending into a range here before breaking back. But we should expect a strong recovery then. And that's why I like this triangle as well. Again, I don't know if it will play exactly like this, but I like it because it allows us to keep ranging here. Potentially, yeah, retest again the top of the range and do print our fifth wave as a spring before continuing. So yeah, and yeah, I said several times last week, when was last week? It was 25, we were still here. So I said I was expecting correction, and I say is there wave 1 or wave A here, or wave B or wave 2. I was expecting a move up, at least here where I took profit. As we did get really closer to the top, I was a bit more unsure, but I say several times during the week during the private streams. I mean, I'm not sure about anything, but if there is a trade to be taken here, it's only a short. We have an invalidation up here, so I'm going short. And obviously when we got a change of market structure locally yesterday on the morning stream, we did got a nice trade setup with a smaller invalidation at that position for high leverage short. And you know, obviously I said overall it's a short as long as we don't breach here. If we had breached that high, I would have been stopped out of this edge short, and it's highly probable that we will have still retraced then. But that was not a problem for me. I would have probably taken another short on another more lower time frame account, as I was reading potentially a swing for a pattern of the high. But I know that was an invalidation for my counts that is keeping us down. Well, yeah, just explaining how I will have played that. Right now, then, I'm short. I still have a bit of long from down here. I would exit them when we bounce, if we do, or I will get stopped out. We'll see. And I think we might see a bounce here locally. We still have a decent support. We are below the POC of all this range, so you know there's no set. It could just strongly back down. But locally, I kind of reading 5 ways. We're gonna take a look at the lower time frame in a minute. Yeah, we are below POC, so I mean, you know, if we reclaim it, we can expect a move potentially again to this upper POC. And if we continue, then I was wrong somewhere, and we're looking at the other counts. But right now, how it is setting, it looked like an ABC. With, if it was impulsive, that will have been a 1, 2, 3, or 4 potentially here and continue. But now that we are getting so close to wave 1, I don't feel this as a wave 4, so I feel it's unlikely that we continue. It doesn't mean it's impossible, it just means I feel it's unlikely. And we have like strong resistance here that are winning again. While trying to counter trade them. So yeah, in this phase, usually we are seeing a lot of overlapping and what can call a creek really often. So the creek is a slow move down. So I think it might be not complicated to trade, maybe complicated to count. As you know, we may see some range and swing fair pattern and move back up. So yeah, let me check a bit the comment here. Hostman say, for me, dump from 69k, now on decision on price compression. Yeah, right. That's something I wanted to say. So yeah, we have a strong downtrend, and now we have a consolidation. When we got a consolidation like this, and overall it's at support. I mean, we have a golden retrace here, I think. Oh, not so much. No, we had the 886, but you know, all of this is support overall, because we know that there was strong buying here, defending. Right now we are, yeah, slowing down and making a little significant range, a bit above support. So consolidation in Elliott wave, usually that means continuation, and that means either wave 2 or wave 4. So here, probably a wave 4. or wave 2 if we are indeed in the ending diagonal here. This would be a wave 2. That could mean we go deep, a bit more deep. But anyway, yeah, right now we are seeing price compression potentially into a triangle. First to fire, hello. Good for the music, great. Why Malik Brown again? Would you expect a bounce around here? So yes. Let me come back on this. Mr. Dub, just saw the notification while you're here, great. And this will be on the replay for anybody that was late. How many are we today, by the way? 10 people. 14. Anyway. Yeah, don't hesitate to leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and share the video if you have other networks that I'm not part of already. If my analysis help you and my opinion help you, made it help other people. And you can also leave a little comment if you like it into the, not just the stream chat, but into the comment category, because it helps for the YouTube algorithm when there's a bit of interaction. But yeah, anyway, let's keep going. So lower time frame, let's get it on the lower time frame, because right now we are getting into something interesting. What do I read? 50 minutes I think will be enough. So we have the top here, so 5th. I went for this count here a few hours ago. So looking at a 1, 2, and that we will have print a wave 3 here. Was potentially looking for high 4. Are we still in wave 3? I would say it's possible, I wouldn't exclude it. But the sub count is pretty clean, so yeah, let's say we have a wave 3 here, a flat for the 4, and we are into potentially wave 5 here. So I think there is good potential for a bounce. We are reaching the top of the proposed wave 1, which will be invalidation for this to be a wave 4. As it is looking right now, I think it is already unlikely that we are in wave 4, and I mean, this doesn't look corrective. We are past the extension we expect. Anyway, I keep that level here. So we're reaching potentially golden pocket here from this low to this high. And here in white cream, I said the potential target for wave 5. So we got the 1-1 extension here. This is good level. Where? Yeah. Into this little order block that comes from this consolidation. That's a daily order block. Let's shift on the daily chart to show you. Sorry, it's a bit messy, but yeah, you see consolidation like this. It was resistance for the top here. And could it play support here? I believe it could. So I think there is the decent opportunity to look for long here. Obviously, after such a decline, I believe it's not time to sell anymore. But I can't say that we will not just fall back. Anything can happen. I mean, it's World War III, anything can happen. So yeah, I think we are into wave 5 here. This is really getting iffy. If you look on the low time frame, you see how this move here really trappy. Someone that is trying to catch a low, I know I've been there in the past. When you try to catch a low and you wait for a good candle, kind of hammer that bridge the low and come back with trapped sellers and stuff. And you wait a bit, so you see this reaction, so you go long up here, and then yep, you get wrecked, stopped out, and it come back up, so you go long again, and up, you get wrecked. And you know, it can be really painful for the little retail trader trying to leverage his position. I don't know, is the fifth is done yet, or I believe there is decent chance that we will reach the 0.618. I don't really want to try to count this. I mean, if you have a count for this, okay, to take a look at it, but honestly, no. For me, the safest bet then is, I mean, I might try to catch a knife here, but otherwise, you wait, even if it's here. You can try to average a bit in, but you need to know what risk you put in and where is your invalidation, because here I'm not so much of a limit trader for that. So yeah, the other possibility is to wait for really nice reactions, seeing volume coming, confirmation that you have some kind of bull div on a 5, 15 minutes, even 30 or 1 hour is better. And when you get a strong reaction, you wait for the retrace, and you buy the retrace with zero known and validation. And overall, just let me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's always in with front trends. As I say, I will wait for. I will buy a retrace, just to know if the move is really strong. You don't necessarily look for the golden pocket on a retrace. You might want to be a bit more aggressive, because that will be a wave 1 and a 2. And often the golden pocket is a good target for a 2, but when leaving some kind of oversold territory, the wave 2 might often be really shallow and only retrace to the 382 or 50%. A bit like we saw on this here. We only retrace to the 50%, I think. Yeah. It's not always easy to know how to shift your aggressiveness or not. But overall, if we are indeed into 5 waves finishing here, we can be looking at a decent move back up. As we are entering the weekend, we might be just ranging, you know, before putting a bounce up to, I could see a bounce up to 44 area to retest this POC, a bit like we did in fact here. So we had the same kind of price action with several traps, you know, good setup, but I mean, you can try to catch swigs. You just have to have a bit of practice to be able to catch as low as possible and exit your at least a partial position on choose bounce, and you get stopped out and you run to. That's what I do sometimes. It's depends if I want to spend hours glue at the screen and making tens of threads, or otherwise I just wait for things to get clear to me, and you know, I wait for a move like this and buy the retrace here. And so yeah, that's I see we could be in such territory here. I think that was on a weekend as well, price action. We did our first decline and we did retrace to retest this POC, this distributive range. I kind of feel we could make the same thing. Now here is a fib retrace for all this move. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Yeah, it's okay. So we could see the bounce stay really shallow, you know. I know there is a possibility we can come as high as here or even a bit higher. Overall, the only invalidation for downward count now is this high. This is really where all the counts that are looking for range or downside are getting invalidated. For me, any move up should be an occasion to short. How I could play this is like, I mean, if I'm starting to read an ABC here and I see supply in this 4-hour order block 3-2, I try to catch a short. On a reaction, I take a partial profit, set my stop above, and if we do continue up, I do it again. How can we prevent being trapped? Actually, I lost a few trades just now like that. Well, like I think like I said, how to prevent being trapped is to be patient. Either really be good enough so you got hours or days, weeks, months of watching the market, and especially the order flow, and you I believe you need, can do without it, but knowing how to read all this stuff, exo chart and the net long short stuff and all the data, and even the TPO chart. TPO is maybe more for the day trading, but I think you need to be able to read this to really catch the precise entry, and you need as well practice, obviously. And when you got enough practice, well, you can catch it very low, and then you scalp your entries. I mean, this could have been a good entries, and when let's go on a low time frame. If you manage to really enter low, when you get a good reaction here, when people start to see this as potentially a bottom, they start to long, then that's when you start to take your profit, at least partially. And so yes, that's how you do. If you try to catch the best position and take partial profit on the immediate tries, even here, and then you get stopped out, it's not a big deal because you took profit, so you can do that several times. I guess that's the best way. Or really be patient, have the signs that you need to see, and sometimes price action is more trappy than others. I mean, here it is. So sometimes just let the market reveal itself to make things clear to me. For me, the best entry are always the fifth wave. How do we have a clear one like this here, for example? I'm reading down to 5 minutes, but you see here, so we have a corrective move. Yeah. So based on Elliott wave corrective move, we're looking at an ABC, or ABC, whatever, and the C is 5 waves. And so here, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, it's pretty clear. And wave 5, and there is several signs that confirm it's highly probable that it is a wave 5. I got my bullish divergence. I got a spike of volume that is lower than wave 3. The wave 5 it's higher. The 5 minutes higher here, but I mean, you see, you got lower spike of volume than wave 3 usually, and you got bullish divergence on 5 and 15 minutes. Another confluence, you know, I have daily level. There is here's a 50% retrace. Or what was it? Here I think we had a really nice trade this morning when I was trading. I mean, I didn't catch a low here. First of all, it was night. I think the morning here. Yeah, that was morning. Where did I do them? I think that was here. Yeah. Simply, don't trade. I wait for a really good reaction. Bull starting to show up a bit. Supply letting it go. And then I wait for my golden retrace into the POC of that little range. Wow. And yeah, I bought it here. I know my invalidation is still down here, but because sometimes you can get spike. That's where I bought. I waited for several confirmation. But here you also got your divergence. Obviously, you often get a small one starting to build as you start finding the low. So you need a bit of practice. Know when the market is more or less aggressive, when you need to let it go a bit more. Or be more or less aggressive. But when you start to see several bull div, you try to. What I do is I try to count the subwave, and I see I'm getting into the 5th wave of the 5th of the 5th, and yeah, that's when I get my entry. But sometimes I get stopped out. That's also the game. Osman daily and 161.8 lower, I think will go there at least. So he's talking here 161.8 of what? You're talking about that one? We are about to get it. Lower daily, I don't know which one. Maybe we don't reach him. Let's take a look at what we got on maybe higher time frame. Up to my chart. You know, overall the good long otherwise is down here. Naked daily POC. And if I zoom out, is that still here? We have the higher golden pocket here, from that low to this one. Here's the dotted line, and we have POC. POC that come back from that range, significant one, and I believe it is the POC of that range. Yes, here. So overall, I think that maybe the best long I get, but potentially could do something like this, you know, could come later. And then Let me check. Maybe wave T will no. Maybe we do a complex correction. I think we have good chance of bouncing here if we do reach it. Maybe we do a zigzag, so a double with W, and we continue ranging, and then another zigzag. It could be W, X, Y to reach wave T. Because as I said, wave T, if it doesn't have to reach the trend line, but I think it's a bit too tight here. And if we look at time, let's take a look at the time that we spend here. So supposedly that is the first wave A. 786 for wave B. Wave C is even smaller. It's contracting in time. It's really small in time. So we reach only the 50%. Suppose. Will be a bit far then. I don't know. No, I said we can expect the creek or the Wyckoff range to extend and green slowly down. Oh, maybe we find a T here. Oh, that's also, you know, what you need to do sometimes. Or what I do. I got my plans from different kind of analysis. Obviously, Elliott wave is my main tool of doing charting. But when I got a setup like this, I mean, I will take the opportunity if I see it, even if it doesn't fit right the Elliott wave I got in mind. Most of the time I will try to find the Elliott wave can that fit that. But yeah, if it doesn't, I take it. We have POC, golden pocket. You know you're gonna get a reaction here. I mean, 99 times on 100. Or at least 9 times on 10. Even if it's only to, you know, this high volume node, it's still a good trade. And so yeah, overall, if we do see that could fit well. A, B, C into the 1-1 extension, got confluence. I could really see that. Oops. So I guess that's it for the bottom frame. No, I said I wanted to. I lost myself. What I will chart here, how does that look like? You see that's weird. We have aggressive long, not capitulating. Short are closing. We are going down with market buying. It's weird. Well, we have an increase in open interest here. So limit short, as we see, it doesn't go up, and we have open interest and market long until the push it hits the closed some. And now it seems that they're closing. Yeah, still seeing selling from the big orders. Right long, most likely. Or right short. Or the closer short, and that's what fueled the move up. Yeah, I'm unsure. I would say this is a place too long. I would prefer this to get a clear capitulation and a clear and trap short. Really wreck long, then trap short at the same time. And a shift on open interest and see the buyers coming. Here they're still really shy. They started here. They get absorbed. I don't know what is the chart. Maybe we can look at CVD. So there is position building here. You see slow grinding open interest, especially here. I suppose at some point I'm gonna get squeezed. Yes, yeah, about 120 million of position opened in that move. We do have bullish CVD here on aggregated BTC contract. That's a good sign. We do have spot CVD starting to rise. So it's bearish CVD, but spot is... I often take spot as a leading indicator, especially on low time frame. Yeah, I have no answer. We have absorption on Binance, but Binance is like always buying anyway. We have not much on Bitfinex. There is a bit of bid here. The wall is still below last week low. FTX sometimes is telling, yeah, there is absorption on FTX. That was already here. Yeah, it is getting filled. Oops, sorry. So you know, there is bulls there. Binance future, we already see Binance spot maybe. Pretty empty. We have a bit of bids. All of them still have bids below or low. So it didn't move them. Even Kraken, I believe. Kraken is building a wall down here. And not below the low, but yeah, also. I wouldn't say there is any clear picture. And you know, when I see big sell orders, 15 million, 16 millions coming from big traders, I always get a bit cautious. At some point they're gonna get squeezed, and maybe here they got just stopped out on the longs. As you can see, there is a drop in long, and big traders also play again all the big players, so it's not just retails against market makers or big players. They are pretty significantly selling, as you can see. So if the big guys are selling, you get to get cautious a bit. Or was it here? Yeah, there was a lot of selling as well. And they eventually get trapped. But you see the first reaction here starting to show up. Really shows that they were starting to buy. Until here. And right now, yeah, I'm only selling. So that is done. Can take a look maybe at okay. Someone on Bitfinex close the margin position. Capitulate? Yes, capitulate probably because it was built up here. And closing, yeah, 1,800, significant. Not huge, but significant. No short interest especially. Yeah, that was my last good call. I think I forget a few ones. Where was it? Yeah. I made the picture from this. But that have been my main bias for the past weeks, and I think it did pretty good. Not always extremely precise and not without being losses here and there, but yeah, overall pretty much satisfied. So what do we have on magic spread? Tether going a bit into the green, slightly. Yeah, never saw anything much from them. So the last buy call was here, as we did print to buy signal at the bottom. There was that one. So that we can see even on the 5 minutes. I guess someone got a fat finger, or I don't know what happened, but you can see here 479 and 479 BTC market bought with a huge spread and yeah, big premium. Or was it a stop hunt, or I don't know. It didn't quite succeed. Overall, it's mostly into the green, so I'm not really concerned overall. But I would like to see more buy signal and more coming down. I don't know if the signal will be as clear and clean as they have been in the past. But yeah, it's in Bitfinex while are buying. It's in Tether as well here. Yeah, we're starting to see a market structure change. Let me come back one last time on this. Okay, we try to see if I can count something. And 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe as a leading. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2. Yeah, I didn't see the point. As you know, sometimes the first market structure change is the wave 4. 1, 2, let's say it's a 3, and we're in a 4, and we could be seeing a 5. I mean, yeah. I would see if the move is stronger and I see 5 waves, I would buy the retrace. If I see a bit of strength and another move that start to do a swing for a pattern, I would buy here, most probably. So 1 hour into the stream. DXY is strong today, said Nez. Let's take a look at DXY then. DXY. Whew, indeed. Indeed. Tac. So, yeah, this is starting to look really impulsive here. Why is it so strong? What is crashing right now? Okay. So euro is crashing against dollar. Well, I mean, yeah. I guess we all know why. So do we have a triangle here? Well, yeah, I do have this in my chart. I don't even know why. Good thing is my USDT is taking value right now. For the little I got. Sometimes we're getting 5 waves on DXY and we are getting 5 waves on Euro USD. Because you know DXY is I'm not sure exactly how much, but a big part of it is Euro. So for me, just looking at this simply, I would be reading a magnet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 161.8 for the 4, for the 3. Putting 1 extension here of the wave 1, potentially a bit lower. We do have a trend line. We have ugly weekly bullish divergence. Knowing what caused this I mean, maybe it breached a low. A bigger picture where we are on it. A, B, C, D, E, A, O. But we do potentially locally we have 5 waves, and potentially we do have 5 waves on DXY as well, and we are still into the golden pocket or platinum pocket, reaching the 707, and we indeed reaching 1 extension of 1. So if 5 waves it is indeed, if that count is correct, it might be incorrect. Then we expect either consolidation or a correction here. I'm sure American will find ways to get the dollar as weak as the euro. And we do have bearish divergence on the other side. So we'll get this rallies coming to some kind of end. We don't have volume, of course, because it's XY. So why like to chart it? How am I supposed to do charting without volume? I don't know how to do that. I need my volume to make an objective point. Yeah. I think we met my previous set. Okay, this is getting a bit of reaction here. Knowing that, let's try 1 minute. Let's try 1 minute Elliott wave. That should be forbidden, but so I suppose if we are due indeed into a potential subwave 4 before reaching the 5th of the 5th here, potentially ABC here to the 1-1 extension. Do we think fair pattern that high or not? Are we indeed into a ending diagonal? It seems it could be. It would need to stop before the 1-1 extension here. Is that if that is 5 waves? It's 1 minute, so you know, here's why 5 minutes is dangerous. And it's not the prettiest that I could see. I mean, it's possible. I could see 5 waves here. And if we start to pre-chat, start to look stronger. And here I can read three, I don't know. I think I covered everything. Do you have any question? Anything you want me to look at? Or do I end that stream here? Weekly chart. I didn't take a look at this. Hup, yeah, weekly it understand. And is about to close for the futures or the CME stuff. So yeah, it was looking pretty bullish until we did that. And as long as it closed below, yeah, let's say 43. A trend line is still on. I was almost going to delete it, but still a bit relevant. You know, at some point we could break the trend line and still do a retest of it. Anyway. We do have this rejecting from the 21 EMA still on a weekly. we still have the 200 EMA that will be really important in case with a deeper retrace. You know, that's a really key level. Not looking to be dollar precise, it can dip below, but overall. So anyway, I will be doing update on that if it happens. But you know that, yeah, overall, the 25,800, so 25, it's something very reachable, and that will supposedly be really strong support. It's really, really strong, really important. And daily, we do have very divergence. Barely. We did reject, barely reject 200 EMA as well. Yeah, well. What macro reversal indicator will I be looking for? Like, we are resuming several of them. I will be looking at a few on-chain data. I will be looking at GBTC premium as well. I not necessarily need to be back at premium, but if it does rise back to even minus $10, so it's a sorry, it's the price of Grayscale token compared to BTC. So yeah, it's a huge discount. So if we see price coming down and GBTC rising, would be a strong sign. Bull signal from magic spread indicator, if I see several of them particularly. But as long as I see one signal, so above 100 and this indicator, it is mine, that I will share signal on Twitter if it does happen on my Twitter. That is strong buy for me. I know it can make lower low even if it's flashing green, but it is a really strong bottoming signal to me. And simple stuff as well, you know, like looking at my count obviously, and a daily bullish divergence, like we saw here for weeks, daily or even weekly, I guess. Yeah, we didn't have 3-day negative founding at the bottom, all stuff like this. I use a wide variety of data that I digest. I read a lot of stuff, I look at a lot of stuff, and all of that make my feeling about it. I'm also a bit of a feeling trader. I feel Bitcoin pretty good. Sometimes when Bitcoin is moving when I sleep strongly, it even wake me up. Like, what the heck? I mean, oh, something is happening, I need to take a look right now. I don't even need an alarm. But yeah, capitulations. Or a really strong sign of change of character. Well, here it would be a bit late if that was happening here, but I mean, what I do is that when I see strength and I see it likely going to rise and position upside, yeah, here I was ready for it to go up, going along here and continue. If we had 5 waves up here, I would have been even more strongly buying the retrace and really looking for this to continue. But as yeah, So I wait for my 5 waves up, suggesting me there is a new trend starting by the retrace. And if everything fits, I'll say, okay, this one you buy strong and you take little profit, you let it rise. So, oh, and do you ever use any time-based indicator like Fibonacci time to time your trades? Not that much. I look at time a bit, and I use Fib time to give an idea a bit. But I never successfully find something that gives me precision. Not much more than what Elliott wave will give me, but overall, yeah, I use it to give an idea of what we are looking at. So right here we got a wave that is longer in time. So I was expecting this to finish at that time. I was buyer here, I was looking at rise quicker. I see it's still a good Fib time. But I will not, I mean, I didn't take the trade up here, the short up here based on the Fib time. I take it based on the count I had, and I think the short was taken here after the change of market structure. And after I see if, yeah, okay, in terms of time, it does make sense that that those waves have a relation together. Good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this here. Thanks everybody for watching. For everybody that's watched till the end. Maybe I'll let you with try to make a trade setup before leaving, because you stayed with me long. I'll try one. Oh, I guess for the week coming, if I had to make a guess, you know, yeah, that's what I will be looking at. Most likely up. I'm on USDT. Yeah, good, because there's volume on it. Yes. Let's see, is that a decent setup? No, where's, okay, anyway. That's not really great, right? It's barely a 240. We'll see, you can take this more precisely. I wouldn't, you know, I don't just skip limit bids like this, especially if that wide and if the target is that low. I mean, limit bids up here with an validation here, knowing that could come all the way back down, it's okay. But yeah, what you want to look for is after you got decent bounce, after you got a decent bounce and you got a confirmation of when to break that low again, it takes a Fib, and I will be looking at the 1-1 extension, and you can add, it's work mostly for flat, but yeah, front ID at the 0.90, it's sometimes a good idea. So yeah, I put the 0.90 because I saw that several times here, for example, but more for flat. A little tip, when you see like this, it stopped at the 90% instead of the 1-1. There is a bit of front run. 0.90. So that here as well, I mean everywhere in two flats. So I'm kind of starting to add it. Here it's a zigzag, so we should be able to read the 1-1 extension. Yeah. And obviously when you enter, you get your stuff tighter. Yeah. I guess that will be a trade. And I suppose I could give the trade on the other side. I already explained, but it's 41,800, yes. I mean, let's take the short here. I'm not sure I'll reach that high, so okay, let's do that anyway. And yeah, let's see if that. Obviously, I suggest you have more confidence, like an ABC move here, knowing that you could easily reach the golden pocket, the POC or the daily level that is a bit above it. And validation is the wick here for sure. And if that was to be not a triangle, for example, something stronger, I mean, you could keep a bit of it in case it go as deep as here. But yeah, let's say that's what I will be looking at for now. Let's see if we get it next time. So thank you everybody, thanks for your participation and your nice words, your support. Don't forget to let a like, a comment, share the video, the link, and have a good time. Don't forget to also to take a bit of time off during the weekend. If you look at Shuttle Week, you will be a lot more efficient if you come back at your clean chart with a clear head. And yes, and don't forget, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose, so risk management is key. Have a good evening, good weekend everybody. Thanks, appreciate you.